In this tutorial in Cyberlink PowerDirector, we'd like to show you the first of two methods that you can use to take a section of raw footage and break it into different pieces that you can use one or more of in your project. This is a very useful tool. It's kind of like a pre-editing tool. So the first of these methods is called scene detection. The second is called pre-cut, and they work similar, but they're really quite different. So we're going to focus on scene detection in this tutorial and pre-cut in the next tutorial. So I have this clip. I've called it 5 scenes. I'm going to drag it and put it in the timeline, and I see it's about 52 seconds. What if I want to break it up into segments that I can use so I don't have to edit it on the timeline and take out the parts I don't want? Here's how you do that. I'm going to right-click on it. Then I'll choose my scene detection tool. Now it will go through and it will detect what it regards as scenes. I deliberately designed this with 5 scenes. You notice it only found 4 of them. Even when I took the sensitivity slider and cranked it up all the way to 100, it still did not detect the 4th scene. So this program does not work as accurately as I wished it did. Let's move over here, and we're going to see the change here. Here we have a scene, and then boom, here's a different one. Similar but different. So if I use my period key to move ahead frame by frame, there's one scene, there's the other scene. Now if I want to break it at that frame, if I back up here, all I need to do is click on the icon called split, and it will automatically add a scene. Now if you notice on the right side, I have scene 2, which starts at 8:28 and goes to 36:10. When I click on this, it goes from 8:28 to 18:23 and 18:24 to 36:10. It will never leave a gap. This is where it's unlike pre-cut. What it will do is it will add a scene any place you want, but it will include all of the content of every second and frame of that original clip into a scene. You can look at the clip view where no matter where you're clicking, you have access to all of the scenes. Or you can look at the segment view where all you see in the slider bar is that particular segment. Now you can remove one, but again what will happen if I remove scene 2, which starts at 8:28, watch what happens. I'll right click, I'll remove the scene, and now everything in scene 2 was drawn into scene 1, and now I have my new scene 2 starts at 18:24. So again, it includes everything in the original clip. There are no breaks whatsoever. So it may do a decent job sometimes of detecting scenes, but you can't trust it 100%. Let me show you more examples of that. I'm going to cancel out of this. And what I'm going to do is take another one. Let's take this clip here. I'm going to scrub through it so you can see what it is. Basically, I took a camera and I shot this field. And then I abruptly turned 90 degrees to the right very quickly and shot the parking lot. And I moved right to the parking lot again. Then I moved left to these trees. And then right to the parking lot again. Then I focused on that small structure there. And then I started back in the original. Now you would think because scene detection looks for change in lighting, change in camera angle, and change in subject, that it would easily find at least 4 or 5 scenes. But watch what happens when I try this. I'm going to go to Scene Detection Tool, and I will detect scenes, and it looks like I only have 1. And even again, when I turn this up to 100%, it only shows me 1 scene. Well, again, I can go through this way, and I can split it wherever I want, wherever I decide there's a new scene, and create as many as I want this way. But it's not quite as efficient as I thought it ought to be. Now, when you click on OK at the end of this, what it will do is it will it will take your footage and it will give you the shadow folder with an up arrow. These are the scenes inside that folder. If I click on the up arrow, I'm back to my main screen, and I have this video clip with a folder in the lower right. That means that I have either pre-cut scenes, or in this case, I have scene detection scenes. So if I click on that folder in the lower right corner, here are the scenes, and I can take any of the ones I want and drag it down and use it in my timeline in any way I so choose. So I could pick one of them or all of them or some of them, reorder them, do anything I want. Now if I want one to be not there anymore, this is the only way I found to delete one without adjusting the others. So if I right click here and I click remove, it will take out that scene, but it will not touch the duration of the scene before it or the scene after it. So if you want to do it that way, that's the option. Now, unlike pre-cut, here's another difference. If I take this clip that I've detected the scenes in and I delete it, and then I pull it back in from my file system, when I'm using pre-cut, it will remember that it is pre-cut and it will bring in all the subfolders. When I am using scene detection, if I take it out and bring it back, when I bring it back, it will not remember I've done anything with it at all. So pre-cut will remember the settings you've put in, and scene detection will not. So that's a big difference for you to keep in mind. But this is one of the two ways in which you can break up a clip into multiple segments and use one or more in your project. And the next video tutorial we'll be showing will show you how pre-cut works in a similar way, but also in a radically different way to accomplish a similar objective.